DC, when are you going to get your act together? Well, hello there, it's been a while. This is Michael, or GallifreyanAvenger, and today I will be reviewing Suicide Squad, which is possibly one of the most anticipated films that has come out over the past while. Suicide Squad was directed by David Ayer, and it stars Will Smith, Jared Leto, Margot Robbie, Viola Davis, Joel Kinnaman, Jai Courtney, and a bunch of other people, and Cara Delevingne. So Suicide Squad, I was very concerned going into this film because early reviews didn't praise this very well, so I was quite concerned. So it was interesting going into the film and finding out that, you know, despite everything, I actually found it very entertaining. But don't get me wrong, there are a couple of flaws, like the edits, for example. There are so many choppy edits, and for instance, Jared Leto as the Joker, a lot of his scenes were taken out, which was kind of disappointing, and Leto himself was kind of upset by that. But, you know, I digress. Suicide Squad essentially it's set in the DC universe, and, well, after the events of Batman vs Superman, spoiler alert, Superman dies, Amanda Waller is responsible for assembling this group of unlikely heroes, to be honest. They're criminals, they're all criminals, but they all have uncanny abilities. This is almost like DC's early answer to the Avengers. Unlikely heroes banding together and taking down an evil threat. The trailers, you know, the marketing and the trailers were enticing enough, and I mean, the colour palette alone, you know, the answer to fluorescent coloured fetishist's wet dream, I guess. The marketing sort of gripped all the fans, all the moviegoers with these characters and with this story, and it hooked me as well. And the characters, a bunch of them are fleshed out okay, like Deadshot or Harley Quinn, played by Margot Robbie, or Jared Leto as the Joker for the finite amount of time we see him. That's another thing. Don't expect to see a lot of the Joker. He's only in it for a bit of the film, and the trailers kind of lie to you because they kind of lead you to believe that he is a main villain, but no, he just sort of, I'm in the film, don't forget about me, I'll be back. Props to Leto for, you know, really nailing the part for the finite amount of time he was in it. But that's not the key plot of the film. Enchantress is the main villain, played by Cara Delevingne. Cara Delevingne is a model first and foremost, and I'm always skeptical of that transition from model to actress. Don't get me wrong, she looked intimidating, but there were some points in the film where, you know, she's being dubbed over, or there's ADR or something, and she's doing this weird sort of dance as well, and you're there thinking, what am I watching? That is the key point of the film, where the Suicide Squad have to take down Enchantress before she takes over the world. I don't know what to say about this film. I mean, it's not fantastic and it's not god-awful. It's that middle point. I mean, I enjoyed it, but some people were just, they didn't hold back giving all the criticisms in the world. And, you know, there are a bunch of criticisms. So many characters are underdeveloped. I mean, Killer Croc, Boomerang, Katana, they're in the film, but you barely get any sort of character moments with them, just the bare minimum. And Slipknot, God forbid, just, hi Slipknot, bye Slipknot. Again, with one of these films, it's so difficult to establish every single one of these characters over a certain amount of time. And, you know, this is going back to my argument in Captain America Civil War, where they succeed in that. But here in Suicide Squad, it's the first time we've seen pretty much all of these characters. And there's only a certain amount of time they can develop them. There's a scene in the beginning where Amanda Waller is talking to her government friends, opening the government files, the criminal records of these groups, and it's a very exposition heavy scene, but it does give you, the certain amount of info you need about these characters. Having said that, the graphical editing is just overkill. It's just overkill on the editing and the captions, and they have, when they're introducing these characters at the very beginning, it's just these big captions like, oh, Deadshot, oh, he's skilled on AK-47s, machine guns, assault weapons, blah 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 blah, and it's just very in your face, just like, okay, I get it, like, show don't tell, but for what they gave us, it was serviceable. It's a serviceable film. Of course, there are going to be flaws, and I mean, once again, DC lives up to its name for wasted potential, which is a shame to say, because I want to like these films, I really do. Like Batman vs Superman, everybody thought that would have been great, but no, it's just too dark and brooding. But we're at the polar opposite in a sense, because Suicide Squad, there's a lot of tongue-in-cheek humour in it, and that doesn't go amiss. Tonally, it's a bit all over the place, because this film doesn't know what it wants to be sometimes. Whether, do we want to be a film where we assemble all these uncanny villains, or are we just going to give you a load of flashbacks fleshing out these characters' backstories, or are we just going to go full-blown evil empress trying to take over the world? It's a mixed bag, and I'm very conflicted on it, that's the problem. But I did enjoy it. Feel free to leave whatever comments you want about how you felt about the film. It is enjoyable, but there is stuff they left out, and they're probably going to build on that in future films. But as it stands now, it's just your popcorn film, try not to think too much about it. It's not a thinking man's film. Yeah, not a lot to say about it without giving away spoilers, but all these characters, they're intriguing enough, between Deadshot, Harley Quinn, Killer Croc, Diablo, Boomerang, and so forth. Also, that's another thing, Boomerang. I mean, I know people aren't the biggest fans of Jai Courtney. He's this sort of bland character, and people gave him the benefit of the doubt here because he was kind of humorous. But really, were his script directions just typical Australian stereotype? Oh mate, I've had Diablo, you're good with fire, aren't you? Look at this lighter! Ooh, look at this! I mean, what can I say? I can criticise things about this film till the cows come home, to be honest, but I enjoyed it. I enjoyed Suicide Squad. What more can I say? Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn was, she nailed the part. I mean, we know she's crazy. The Joker has sort of tortured her to be psychotic, but I mean, it's not distracting. It's not too distracting, that it takes up much of the film. But it's just a perfect balance of, oh, Mr. J, we're bad guys. And yeah, my best friend, pointing out the scenes you see of the Joker and Harley Quinn together. That's relationship goals right there. So, they nailed it in a sense. I'm going to give Suicide Squad 3 out of 5 stars, and we'll just leave it at that. Thank you for watching this ramble on Suicide Squad, and give it a look if you're interested, and until next time, see you soon.